Hi all. Now we'll continue our video class from statements. Okay, last video we ended with what are the statements are used in Java. Already I told you whatever the statements we have studied in C++, we are going to continue with Java also. When you are going to discuss about that looping statements, for each loop extra we are going to study. Remaining all are same. So now I will continue the class from if statement. Okay, I share the screen. So already you have known these are called as decision making statements. My class name is if underscore Java public static void main string arguments of int x equal to 10. So whenever we are discussing the program, I'll recollect the previous points. Here we can understand first one what I told is always your execution of the program start with mains method. So even though the first line of your Java program is public class if underscore Java, your execution starts from public static void main of string arguments. Okay, so from here it will start. So after this open braces, so first statement will be executed is int x equal to 10. So x is a variable which have a data type integer and the value of that variable is 10. Okay, so what kind of variable this x? X is a local variable because inside the method the variable is declared. So x is a local variable, don't forget. Okay, so now if x equal to 10, if x equal to 10, it is telling that system.out.print, this is if statement. Okay, here ln they didn't give, not an issue. If you want you can give ln, but here no next line is there. So that system.out.print, this is if statement. What is my value of x? 10. So 10 equal to 10. Already you are familiar with this double equal. So equal to if you give, that is assignment operator. When you are using this equal to symbol as a comparison operator, you should use double equal. You should use double equal. Okay, so system.out.println or print, this is if statement. So my if condition is true, so the output will be this is if statement. Okay, so next if else, same logic, but you have to use one more condition. For example, public class if else Java static. So here from here only my execution starts. So int x equal to 30, x is a local variable. If x equal to 20, system.out is this is if statement, but according to my value 30 is not equal to 20, so automatically it will go to else part. So else part is what? This is else statement. It is not checking whether what is the value. Just if it is not true, else part will be executed. So according to this, my program output is this is else statement. Next, if else. If else means what? If else like that, it will continue. For example, int x equal to 30. Int x equal to 10. No, it is not true. If it is true means value of x will be printed, not true. So automatically it will go to else part. If x equal to 30, no, my x value is 30, but here x equal to 20 they are checking. So 30 not equal to 20. So this part, this statement also won't be executed. So automatically next if part it will be checked. If x equal to 30, yes, this is 30 and this is 30. My value both are matching. So the output will become value of x is 30. So this is a small program. Here we have some initialization and declaration of variable, how you have to create a class, how the main method executed, everything is there. So now what I will do, I will show how you can execute, because theoretically we are discussing, but this is a programming language, practical knowledge is more important. So I'll tell you how you have to execute this simple program using Eclipse. Okay, it is a open source tool which is used to execute our Java program. Okay, number of available tools as open source means it is easy for us. Next, one more thing, you can execute the Java program through command prompt also. You know what is command prompt? Okay, through command prompt. For that time you have to write your this complete source code in Notepad or TextPad. Notepad, if you write, you have to save the file name with .java. For example, if I get an if underscore else underscore if underscore java dot java, you have to store. Then you have to create a path and you have to execute. But if you use Eclipse, this path creation, setting the path and all not an issue. Directly we can give, and few built-in for example, public static void main. If you create a class, public class if else java, this statement and public static void main open braces closed braces, these things and all automatically it will be displayed on your screen. So usage of Eclipse is easy and it reduces the debugging process for us. So I'll execute and show you on Eclipse. Okay, I'll stop this and I will share the Eclipse screen. This is my Eclipse screen. Here already I have created number of project in Java. Each and every program, whatever we are writing is called as project. So how you have to create a project, just I'll show you, then I will execute and show this program. So always when you are going to create a project, you have to go to file, new. You can create some workspace in any direct. For example, I have created in C drive, BBB is my workspace I have given. So like this, you can create an workspace and you can write all your Java programs on that workspace. So file, new, project. In this, you can click Java project. Here you can give, for example, I am writing the Java project name is hello one, because already I have created hello, so hello 11. Next, if you see here hello 11 in that source, okay, source is the Java code. Next, where we are going to write everything, finish. If you finish here, you can see hello 11 because it is in the order. So now I have to create a class for this, new, you see here class. So I'm giving same, I told you hello. For example, first letter of the class should be capital, hello 11 only I'll give. So I told you, if you don't want to write public static void main, means you can click this, automatically it will create, otherwise you have to write. Okay, public inherited these things and all, if you want you can write. Now according to our topic, we didn't reach, we have not yet reached this inheritance, then constructors and also public static void main is enough. If you click here this generate commands will be there. Now no need, later we will discuss. Simple program. Now you see here, before that time hello 11 was not there, other programs were there. Now I have created a class. So I told you public class hello 11, you didn't write, automatically it has come on the screen, public static void main. So inside this, whatever the logic you want, you can write. Now already I have created and I have written this program. So I will execute and show you. For example, here I will give 30. Okay, so my public class hello static void, and from here execution will start. So according to this program, already we have discussed what is the output, x equal to 3, so value of x is 30. So once it has been done, you have to go and click run hello. Okay, value of x is 30. Can you see? So this is my output. If I'll change this to 50, so what is my output? Else statement. Shall we check? Else statements. Like this way, you have to execute your Java program using Eclipse. It is very easy. Okay. Now I'll stop share this. So now, hope so everybody understood that how we can execute a Java program using Eclipse. Now we will continue our PPT. So this we have discussed. Switch statement, how you have used in C programming, same kind of syntax only. So I don't want to waste my time here. New concepts we will learn. So I'll show the example. So This is my example. Class name is which Java. I have given character grade D. So I have to, like this, if I declare, I should give case with the character. So D should match. So my output should be you passed. If I have not given anything, my output will be invalid grade. This is switch. So each and every case should have a break that we have discussed. We have known. Loop, if you see, while loop, do while, for these things and all, you know. New one we are going to discuss, for each loop. For each loop, why we are in need, where we have to use, the question mark will come. So whenever you want to traverse the array, you can use for each loop without any condition, nothing. From first element to the last element, we can use for each loop, but without any condition. Okay. Another one, second module, we will discuss about collection framework, which is one of the important topics in Java. When you are going to use collection framework, this for each loop will be used more. Okay. While loop, you know, syntax is while, condition, then statements. Based on the condition, this body of that while loop will be executed. Once the condition is false, this loop will be exit. Okay. So here x equal to 10, 10 less than 15. Yes, it is true. So value of x plus x. X plus plus, you have known. What is the difference between x plus plus and plus x? This is post increment. Plus x is pre-increment. Okay. So whenever you are giving here, after the statement, it will be incremented. That incremented value will be used later. But plus x, if I'll give, it will be incremented and that value will be used. Do while, you know, what is the main difference between while and do while? Most frequently asked questions in your interviews. Okay. So while condition, if the condition is true, till the condition is true, the body of the while loop will be executed. But even though the condition is false, at least one time body of the loop will be executed in do while. Okay. For loop, you know, three parts: initialization, condition, increment or decrement. But I don't want this. I have to traverse. If you want, you have to use for each loop. Mainly it is used for arrays. So here data type variable means int, colon. If you have created the array is ARR, means you can give ARR. That's all. Automatically from first element to last element, it will be traversed. Okay. You see here 12, 13, 14, 44 int I colon ARR, so that 12, 13, 14 and 44 will be printed. Next, Java continue statement. You have known the Java continue statements. Continue and break we use rarely. It was used to continue loop until the statement is true. So until the statement is true, it will continue. Break statements, once the condition is true, it will break. That is the difference. Now we will come to our non-primitive data type, which is arrays. Okay. Already you have known the definition of array. Definition is not changing with respect to Java and all. Okay. So same definition. The array is a collection of elements of the same type that are nearby memory spaces. Okay. We can store only a certain set of elements in a Java array. Okay. And another one, you told that the array is index based and the first element of the array is stored in 0th index. Okay. There are two types of arrays. One is one dimensional array, another one is two dimensional array. Okay. First, what is one dimensional array? Okay, here they have given, you see, Java program contains steps in array. First, we have to announce the name of the array, ARR, A1, A, anything. Next, we have to create an array. Next one, we have to start the values of the array. You see, data type of, then array colon. So like I told you, when you are going to write a main method, public void static void main of string open bracket close, sorry, square bracket, then args of, otherwise string space args of square bracket. Okay. Or string space first square bracket then args. In any way you can write, all are acceptable. So the same way, data type then square bracket ARR, or data type space in front of array name you can give the square bracket, or after array name you can give the square bracket. This is familiar for us because in this way only we have declared array in C, C++ programming languages. So this one we will follow. Okay. So array declaration has two components. One is array type, another one is array name. So the type of an array is written as type with bracket. Okay. The size of an array is not part of its type. Example, how to declare, instantiate and initialize and traverse the array. Class test array. My class name is test array. Again and again I am telling, the first letter of the class name should be capital, and always your program execution starts from main method. So I'll go on the execution flow. I'm not going to explain this program from line number 1. I'm going to explain this program from the flow of execution. So public static, where is the main method here? So my execution starts from here. Int data type, a array name, square bracket represents array equal to new int of 5. For example, in C programming language, if you want to declare an array, declaration only, declare an array, just int a of semicolon. If you give array is declared with a, the 0 index is a of 0, memory will be allocated. 1000 means 1000. But here you see new int of 5. This is the complete array declaration and instantiation in our Java. New array, new int of 5. So here again I am giving int of, and there I am giving 5. There in C you will give int a of 5. But here int a of new int a of 5. That is actually int a of 5 only. Int of 5 means the array A contains 5 elements. Okay. So now I am this is instantiation, declaration with instantiation. Next, a of 0 equal to 10, a of 1 equal to 20, 2 equal to 70, 3 equal to 40, 4 equal to 50. I have initialized the value for the each and every array index. Now I have to traverse an array. Here I have used, first I have used what? For loop, normal for loop. I didn't use for each, normal for loop. Length, okay. What is this length here? You see here, for int I equal to 0, I less than 5, like that we have usually will give. Here a dot length, a is an array, length means it is a property of array. Here the length is 5. Okay. So a dot length means automatically it will take length of the array is 5. So 5. Okay. If you want 5, you can give, not an issue. This is one way to give the condition. Length of the property till a dot length is what? Complete a dot length is 5. So I less than 5, it will execute. So 10, 20, 70, 40, 50 is your output. Another one. So here I have given the values directly. This is also same. So 33, 3, 4, 5 will be printed. Instead of initialization, here only I have initialized the values. That time no need of that new int of. Okay, another one is two-dimensional array. This is also same like say, C programming. So data type, but instead of one bracket, you should give two array square bracket, array, reverse variable, or here or any way you can. Like this way also you can do, here one bracket, here one bracket. Then also the system can understand this is two-dimensional array. So they have given one example, just we'll go through. New string of 3 is the row, 2 is the column. Okay. So totally 6 elements. So 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. So user 1, user 2, user 3. I have to traverse. When you are going to traverse, when you are using 2 dimensions and you are going to traverse, you have known that we are in need to use I loop and J loop. I is for row, J is for column, like that we have to use. So 2 loops I have used. str of I, J means this outputs will be printed on your console. Okay. Next one, constructors. Already you have studied constructors and destructors in your C++. Okay, but in Java we are going to discuss only constructors, not destructors. Okay, you can get a doubt why we are not using destructors in Java, because in C++, when you are creating an object, you are in need to destroy the object. As a programmer, as a developer, we are in need to destroy the object. That's why we have used destructors. But in Java, number of features are there in Java compared to C++. But one of the important features of Java is this: we are not going to use destructors, that is memory, because why we are using these destructors in C++? For how many objects we have created, we have to destroy the object. But in Java, as a developer, we are not in need to destroy the object. This destroyment of the object is taken care by JVM. Taken care by JVM. So that process is called as garbage collection. That process is called as garbage collection. Definitely this question will be asked in your interviews. What is garbage collection? Why we are not using destructors in Java? Because this JVM will take care for this destroyment of objects, that is garbage collection, that is we have to free the memory. Whenever you are creating the object, memory will be allocated. I told you, in heap memory will be allocated. So that memory will be freed when you are going to destroy the object. But here no need to destroy from programmer side. When you create the object, you can use the object, you can leave just like that. What the JVM will do means it will watch. So whenever which object is not used by the program or used by the programmer for a longer period of time, which object is not used for a longer period of time, that objects automatically the JVM will destroy that object. So automatically memory will be freed for other, memory will be available for other object. This is taken care by JVM. This process of destroying the object is called as garbage collection. Garbage collection. Later we will discuss, but I'll tell you why we are not in need of destructor. So in Java, only one concept we are going to discuss among these two, that is constructors. Okay. So what is constructors? Already I told you, when you are going to create an object, for example, student class, student S1 equal to new student of. I told you the types. This student of is a constructor. Okay, that what is the constructor? How many types of constructors? How I have to create constructors? We will discuss now. Okay. So first we will discuss initializing an object in Java programming. How to initialize an object? Okay, for example, objects contain their own copy of instance variable. Objects means what? Instance variable. So the object contain their own copy of instance variable. But it is difficult to initialize each and every instance variable of each and every object of a class. Okay, I told you, if you want to create n number of objects, you can create, but each and every object is unique. So to initialize each and every instance variable of each and every object of a class is difficult. So that Java provides that it allows objects to initialize themselves. Instead of we each and every time we should initialize the variable, each and every time the objects can initialize themselves whenever they are created. What is the word when they are created? Whenever you are giving student S1 equal to new student of, okay, that time this S1 object is created, so that whenever the object is created, they can initialize themselves. They can initialize themselves. This automatic initialization is performed through the use of constructors. That's why we are writing student S1 equal to new student of. This student of is the constructor. So whenever the object is created, it is initialized themselves. Okay, our work, our burden will be reduced. Oh, where I have, how many objects I have created, whether I have initialized or not. No confusion. Once you create the object, you can leave. Constructor will take care to initialize that object. Okay, so a constructor initializes an object when, as soon as the object gets created. Once the object gets created, immediately the constructor initializes an object. Okay, so the constructor gets called automatically after creation of the object and before the completion of new operator. Before the completion of new operator. So new as a student of, before that it will be initialized. This is about constructor. If you are not giving after student of, just if you give student, that is the syntax error. Okay, what are the characteristics of Java constructors? What are the characteristics of Java constructor? Means, for example, if you have interface, it can't have a class have a constructor. Interface cannot have a constructor. When I'll discuss about interview, I'll tell you more. Next, constructor cannot be private. So what is the name of the constructor I can give, ma'am? You can get in doubt. So whatever the class name you are giving, same is the constructor name. Same is the constructor name. Okay. So why, what is this private? You can give public, but you can't give private. Then one more important point among constructor is constructor doesn't have return type. You can't write void student of, int student of, you can't give. So constructor cannot return a value. Name of the class should be the constructor name. You can use specify modifiers, but you should not use private modifier. Okay, this is about constructors. Okay, here I'll wind up this types of constructors we will discuss in next video. I'll stop sharing. I'll end this video. Next video, we will continue with types of constructors. Okay. Thank you so much.